So today, our president spoke at the United States Saudi Investment Forum, and unsurprisingly, it was a nonsensical ranting mess full of lies, mentions of COVID, and attacks on Jerome Powell. Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. We're doing it. We're crushing it. Thanks to you. So hit subscribe, watch, comment, and share, because this insanity, it's got to come to an end. Now, let me be clear. Trump seemed to be showing off to the Saudis today during his speech, acting as if, he were the headline of a comedy show. He makes a joke about the price of turkey and then, of course, compared it to the country. Play the clip.
We're headed in the best direction, I think, that we've ever been headed. According to the USDA, Turkey is down, think of that, 33%. And I'm not talking about the country of Turkey. He's doing fine. Erdogan is doing good. Just want to, I don't want him calling me. I'm not down 33%. He's a friend of ours. We got to take care of our friend.
Yeah, that happens to also be the place that Jamal Khashoggi was murdered and chopped up. Now, meanwhile, he also goes on to claim, because there's not going to be a speech that doesn't include this, that the 2020 election was proven, not questionable, was proven to be rigged. Play that clip.
When I left, which was a rigged election, by the way, but that's okay. They used to go crazy. I'd say rigged. Nobody complains anymore because now they realize it was, and it's been proven. And
yes, you're at an investment forum talking to U.S. Saudi investors, and what they really want to hear is 5 years ago, your belief that the 2020 election was rigged. And by the way, there's never been any proof other than, of course, you and your enablers saying it. Now, he also, of course, commented that the room lives on tax deductions, but most Americans don't know what that even is. Play the clip.
This room, they live on deductions. Me too. How much of a deduction do I get? We all live on it. Middle-income people, they don't know about that. They don't really have deductions.
Yeah, right. And so it's a way of not paying your fair share of taxes, which is why the middle class right now is being squeezed. You see, again, you're at an economic forum. You're talking to people who probably understand this game. Well, let me not say better than you. Let's say no less than you, because I want to be somewhat respectful. They do live on deductions, and many of those deductions, again, make their tax rate less than that of their own secretaries. Now, Trump, of course, proudly joked about being named chair of the Board of Peace, and that he is so busy, he's not sure how he's going to find the time. Play the clip.
They endorse the United Nations, what's called the Board of Peace, chaired by a person called Donald J. Trump. I accepted the chairmanship. They asked me to be chairman. That's what I needed. It's just a little more work. But it's a great honor. That'll be the greatest board ever assembled. Where do you see this board? This board will blow every board away. And I believe we're going to be lucky enough to have the Crown Prince be a very distinguished member of the board.
Yeah. Again, let me just sort of remind each and every one of you as I go to these clips, this is a U.S. Saudi Investment Forum. All right? They're not here for this stand-up comedy routine. They're not here to listen to Trump pat himself on the back and give himself accolades about being chosen to run the Board of Peace. They're not there to turn around. Did you notice, by the way, the limited applause when he mentioned that he is going to be the chair? What do you got, like 16 people in that room? They should have at least gotten one of those fake machines, the applause machines that we used to listen to, like with the Beverly Hillbillies or the Brady Bunch. Meanwhile, while all this craziness is going on in our lives, while the Epstein file debacle keeps moving forward and Stacey Plaskett, the representative, is out there, texting with Jeffrey Epstein and all of the other mishigas that we're living with, Trump, what's he out doing? Went golfing this weekend. In fact, here's a little factoid. Trump has golfed 72 days out of the 304 days that he's been in office so far. And that's just this year. But he claimed, it's amazing, that's 25% of his time. 72 out of 304 days of being in office, he's been golfing. But of course, deflection, he claims that Jerome Powell spends all of his days playing golf. Play the clip.
I love the Fed job. To me, it's the easiest job in the world. You play golf for 28, 29 days, then you go and make a little speech, tell everybody, in the case of the current guy, the wrong information because he has no clue. But if you have good instincts, it's all based on instincts. I see they want to hire 3,000 economists, 3,000, to report to the Fed chairman. What are they going to do? Take all this information? 3,000 economists. That's why they're spending $4 billion on renovating a building that should have cost $25 million to do. They should have spent $25 million. They're building a basement into the Potomac River. I could have told them that's very tough to do and it doesn't work and it's very expensive. But they're up to $4 billion headed by this clown.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's very funny, the deflection. 72 out of 304 days, that's 25% of his time, has been playing golf. By the way, also understand that every time he goes out to play golf, it costs the U.S. taxpayer millions of dollars. Don't forget, they have to shut down the roadways to get him to the airport. And after he gets to the airport, they shut down the skies, and he takes an entire entourage with him on Air Force One. When they land, they shut it down again. And then they have Secret Service all over. Plus, Secret Service is staying at Mar-a-Lago at like a whopping $2,000 a night. The whole thing is a fucking scam. Meanwhile, back to his comedy routine, because we don't want to miss a moment of that. Trump goes on and says that he wanted to fire Jerome's ass. Remember, all right, he's at a business investment forum. Play the clip.
And eggs are way down now. Mortgage rates are down despite the Fed. Scott, you got to work in this guy. He's got some real mental problems. And no, he's something wrong with him. It's just sweet. I'll be honest, I'd love to fire his ass. He should be fired.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is the U.S. Saudi Investment Forum, and you're shitting on your Fed chair in front of all of these people. And by the way, let me be crystal clear. Things are not down. Yes, there are things that are down. Gasoline. They keep talking about turkeys because, of course, very soon it'll be Thanksgiving. But when they start talking about, say, Target or Walmart or Costco selling turkey at 33% discount, it's because they made the turkey smaller and they're giving you less potatoes, less mashed potatoes, less everything inside of it. It is 1/3 smaller. So yeah, it's 1/3 less the price. He then went and he lied, literally lies, saying that we have the highest job numbers that we've had in history of this country. That's just simply not true. Play the clip.
We have more jobs. It was just announced. We have more jobs right now than we've ever had in the history of our country. Those are big numbers. It's like crazy. It's just a great stat. More jobs today than we've ever had in the history of our country. And
not true. That's a lie. Wrong. Meanwhile, Trump also goes on. He speaks about bringing in foreign workers and the MAGA folks, all of his people, being against bringing in these foreigners. Play the clip.
You can't come in, open up a massive computer chip factory for billions and billions of dollars like is being done in Arizona and think you're going to hire people off an unemployment line to run it. They're going to have to bring thousands of people with them, and I'm going to welcome those people. I love my conservative friends. I love MAGA, but this is MAGA. And those people are going to teach our people how to make computer chips. And in a short period of time, our people are going to be doing great. And those people can go home where they probably always want to be. When people are born someplace, they tend to want to go, and we have the greatest country in the world.
Again, First, he turns around and says, we have the highest job numbers. So basically, you have to bring them in because there's no employees available within which to go work at these, I don't know, fictitious plants that, in Arizona, that nobody even knows what the hell he's talking about, including the people from Arizona. So this is the problem. Right now, we have a higher unemployment than we did 4 years ago. And it's getting worse simply because of AI. If you speak to Gen Zers, the kids coming out of school right now, their biggest concern, their jobs are being eliminated at incredible rates because of AI. So I'm not really sure that what Trump is saying is factually accurate. Ooh, what a shocker, right? Now, last week, Trump actually argued with Laura Ingraham about Americans being talented. Play that clip.
H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration, because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent.
We have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Yeah. I mean, look, again, you know who else isn't talented? Laura Ingraham, right? I mean, you want to call it, she's so concerned about not having Trump come back onto the show that she's actually just placating. Imagine if that was Joe Biden there sitting with her. Imagine the proctological examination that she would basically have put him through. But Trump doesn't stop there. No. He also claims that climate change is a hoax, something he's been saying for a long time. Play the clip.
Americans have rejected the failed, and they were really failed, far left models that you were looking at of high taxes and massive spending, soaring costs, crushing regulations, and trillions of dollars in green new scams. Everything was a new scam, green. Look, I'm all for the environmental, everything. I'm all for climate change. They have new word, climate change. Used to be global warming. It's global warming. Well, that didn't work because it started coming down. They did the global cooling thing. Then they just said, we can't keep up with this. It's too much. So we'll go, perfect words, climate change. They're covered. If it rains, if it snows, if it's warm, it's climate change is destroying the world, remember? The world was supposed to have been gone 2 years ago. They gave us 12 years, Howard, to live, right? 12 years.
Yeah, Howard. I mean, point to somebody who's, of course, going to agree with what you're saying. Right now, you are seeing glaciers the size of Rhode Island falling into the water. Well, what do you think happens when that glacier melts? It's going to take some time, but what do you think happens? You think that maybe the ocean level rises, meaning more condensation in the air, meaning more violent storms? Oh, yeah. Like the kind of storms that we're seeing all the time now that we never saw before. And look, finally, he also went on a crazy ramble because, again, at the U.S. Saudi Investment Forum, what else must you talk about that would have no bearing upon this forum? How about COVID and Abraham Lincoln? Play the clip.
I'll never forget, I met with pollsters the day before I got the news about COVID, but I met with two pollsters because we were starting to think about the next election. They said, sir, if George Washington and Abraham Lincoln came back from the dead and they aligned and they went for the president, vice president as a combination, you'd be beating them by 25 points. And then the next day I was told that something strange is happening. There's a lot of death being reported in a certain country. I won't tell you which one because that country is well represented here, but you know which one. And thousands and thousands of people are dying. And I said, that's strange. What would that be? And it turned out to be a disaster for the world. There's, nothing has been seen like that since 1917. I always thought that when I heard, pandemic or anything you want to call it, but I always thought that was like an ancient phenomena, that could never happen in modern times, but it did. But we did a great job.
Yeah, pandemic. It's, one of those ancient words. Listen, again, in Trump's mind, if God and maybe his son Jesus came down from the heaven, Trump and J.D. Vance in Trump's mind would beat them by 25 points too. It's unbelievable. It's why I constantly say we have to grow. We have to grow this community. With your help, we are doing it. I promise you, we're doing it. We're making a difference. Every day we see another small victory, another small victory, another small victory. And as the old expression goes, all right, we're winning the battles, but it's not over until we win the war. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.